Hey y'all, I'm Danielle, owner of Naturally Created Wholesale, and I wanted to share with y'all the story of my first chargeback. Y'all, it was so crazy. People are crazy. People are crazy. So I want to share this because I know a lot of times like this stuff isn't talked about. I never really knew anything about chargebacks or anything like that until I started doing wholesale, fortunately. But when it hit, man, it hit hard. So I want to share with y'all what happened and hopefully try to help somebody to implement some things into their business to maybe prevent this from happening to you if I don't minimize it from happening. So a couple months after I started doing wholesale full time, I got an order, and it was a couple $100 order. All right. And I went ahead, filled the order. It was like body oil, turmeric scrub, and yoni wash. All right. She ordered the stuff. I sent it out. I think she got two different body oil sets. It was like a couple $100. All right. Okay. So I ship her products out. And then like some time goes by, and back then I was going live on IG like literally every single week. Like I don't really go live every week anymore, but I was. I was for months. I was on IG live. And so I was on IG live and somebody was like, requesting to be in my live. And I was like, oh no, like we don't do that. Like I just go live. I don't go live with other people. Like, and so she was like, she had ordered from me. And I was like, well, bet. Like, this is cool. I have a customer come in and like share her experience. So she comes into the live and I mean, we had a good talk. Like, she had completely, I think, almost sold out of everything. She was wanting to place another order. And instead of getting like the 2 ounce yoni washes, she was gonna order like a bigger size. It was gonna be like a custom order and like all this stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is such a blessing. And she was like telling everyone how much she loved the products, and like she didn't even have labels to sell this stuff. Like she was just talking to people and they was buying it up. And it was the craziest thing. And we were just talking and there was like so much engagement on live. And it was just like, wow, this is great. But y'all, this is what I'm saying. People are crazy. Like they are crazy. And so, anyways, I'm messaging her like after the live. She was like, "Yeah, like let me know how much it's gonna be. Like I need to get get some more stuff. Like people want this." And I was like, "Okay." So I messaged her and sent her the pricing for like a custom order to do like larger bottles of the yoni wash. And then it was like an issue, right? And so I was like, well, this is kind of weird because she was like all hyped up, like she needed them like a week ago. Like she needed this order like already. And so I was trying to be like on top of it, getting her the pricing and everything so that she could pay so I could start making it for her. And it was just like the vibe just kind of like, I just felt like something was off. And so then I have followed up um and like she never like paid for the order. And so I was like, this is the weirdest thing. But I didn't I'm not one thing I'm not about to do, I'm not about to harass you to order from me. Okay. Like I'm just not about to do that. Like if you want it, I got it, I can help you. However, if the timing is not right, if the money is not there, if you need to think about it, that is fine. I'm not about to force you to do anything. I don't want any type of problems. So, anyways, I just kind of let that go. Well, then I had got this other like huge order. I had got this other huge order, and I went ahead and filled it. Like it was a high risk order. It was my first high risk order. And I went ahead and filled the order. Well, I emailed the person and let them know, y'all, I didn't know no better. I let them know that this came over as a high risk order and that they could please just like confirm some details, let me know. Well, no, I didn't even ask them to confirm any details. I was just like, hey, this order came over as high risk. I just want to make sure that you would like to move forward with the order. And they were like, yeah, like the money has already been drafted. Like I want to move forward with the order. I was like, okay. So I fulfilled the order. Again, didn't know any better. So I go ahead and do all that. And then a couple of weeks passed and I got a chargeback. I got a chargeback for the person who came on live with me, y'all. I got a chargeback. And I was like, this is the craziest thing I've ever heard of. Like, you have got to be kidding me. So I'm messaging the person and I was like, hey, I ended up getting a chargeback. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on and everything. And she was like, oh, like it was my boyfriend's car, I'll follow him. I was like, yeah, please do because this is a chargeback. Like I shipped you your products. And so never heard back, obviously. And so then I ended up getting another chargeback for the high risk order. All right, I got another chargeback. Again, I filled the high risk order, didn't know any better. Thought that because they emailed me back saying the money was drafted and please proceed, like that was enough coverage, right? So, anyways, I go ahead, I fulfill that order, got a chargeback saying that it was a fraudulent order, that the customer's bank, like the customer didn't order that. And I'm over here furious because I'm like, what do you mean you didn't order it? You said the money drafted, it came out your account, you wanted the order, you ain't giving me the product back. So what do you mean it's not, like, what are you talking about? And so for both of the chargebacks, I went ahead, I filed a claim, and I was just like in prayer, and I was just like, Lord, if it's your will, I'm gonna win these chargebacks. Like, I don't know what else to do. Like, I did everything I was supposed to do. I submitted all the information. Like, it's pretty crystal clear that like these were, like, you went live with me, and then this other person, you responded saying that this was a valid order, that the money was drafted, and you wanted your stuff. So I was like, I don't know how I could lose this. Like, I have all the information. I even had screenshots because the girl that went live with me, she had posted my products on her page. She even copied my product descriptions from my website and posted them as her captions. So I'm thinking that, like, this is enough. Okay. And I'm like, Lord, like, if it's your will, I'm gonna win these chargebacks. Like, I don't know what to do because we're talking about, between both of those orders. And I don't know if you know, but like if you get a chargeback, you get a $15 charge. So like I'm on Shopify, so like they deducted the money that Shopify gave me. Like, it's when you get a chargeback, there's no like, okay, you have until this amount of time to send the money back. No, like they hurry up and they draft the money back out of your account. And so like if the money's not in your account, then you have to worry about overdraft fees. They don't have to worry about nothing. You have to worry about overdraft fees. Fortunately, I didn't have to worry about that, but I'm just letting y'all know they don't like tell you that on this day you have to send the money back, or by this day, like, nothing. Like, they just take the money out of your account and they penalize you $15. And you don't get that $15 back. Like, so because it's like a processing thing, because they had to process this. So it's like a fee. So anyways, I'm just like in prayer. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Like, we're talking about, it was over like $600 total, maybe even like close to $700 that we're talking about, because these were like two larger wholesale orders. And I think the one order was like close to 200, and then the second order was like maybe close to 500, or maybe even a little over 500. Like, we're talking about real money, y'all. Like, I was like so distraught, so distraught. So anyways, so what happened then? So after I got the chargebacks, I had got on the phone with my mentor, and I was like, look, this never happened to me before. Like, I don't know what to do. And she was like, giving me some tips. And she was like, because the chargebacks happen like back to back. And she was like, you need to implement some better processes and stuff like that. So I'll talk about that in a minute. But anyways, through talking to her, and and then doing some research and trying to figure out like what's going on with these chargebacks, I identified through so I so one of the things you can do is you can set up like an IP address blocker on your website. So that's one of the things she recommended that I do is to download like an IP address blocker onto my website. So through doing that, I of course went to the first website. Y'all, this is so crazy. People are crazy. So I set up the IP blocker address. I go over there and I enter in the first one, the girl who went live with me, right? I go in, I enter her IP address. All right, we ain't doing this no more with you. So then I go to the second chargeback and I'm like, okay, we about to enter yours too. And so I go look at it and it's the same dang on IP address, y'all. It was the same person. The same person came around and just craziness, just craziness. So I realized it was the same person. So then I was even more upset. I'm like, are you serious? Like, thank God I didn't send you that custom invoice and you paid for it and I shipped you that, because that would have been a chargeback too. And so then I'm looking on the person's page. I'm like, she is selling the other bucket because she ordered gallons of turmeric scrub. Like, she ordered gallons of turmeric scrub. I think she ordered like 2 gallons. And she was like customizing it. So like she was like adding some extra things to it so she could go and resell it. Y'all, when I say furious, furious, furious. So anyways, I just had to wait. And like when you submit the chargeback information, like it doesn't just like get resolved in a week. Like they have a long amount of time. I don't know what the days are, but it seems like forever. That like once you submit the information to Shopify and they send it to the bank, like the bank has a significant amount of time to review the information and make a decision on if this is valid for their customer or not. All right. So, anyways, in addition to the IP block that I did on my website, some other things I did was I implemented a process for what was going to happen when my company received orders that had any type of risk associated with them. So, what was our process going to be? So, my mentor kind of, talked me through a couple different things, and just by my own knowledge, because I started doing research myself, I came up with some policies on what I was going to do if I received another order, and of course I did. um, and so I want to encourage you as a business owner that these orders are going to come through at some point or another. If you are in business long enough, these orders are going to come through, and you have got to figure out what you are going to do, because it takes time to implement things. It takes time to build processes and just make sure everything is where it needs to be. And so you don't want to wait to do this. When you get it, you want to make sure that this stuff is already ironed out, like your processes and stuff. Obviously, you might have to tweak things as you go along, but like you want to make sure that you have things in place. So like in addition to the IP blocker, I also created an entire process for what happens when I get a medium risk order, and then also what happens when I get a high risk order. So those two things are different. If you are not familiar with this type of stuff, I encourage you to look into it on whatever platform you're on. If you are on Shopify, there's a lot of information on Shopify's like help center, or they have a support team that you can reach out to if you have any questions. There's also other videos online about this, but I encourage you to do your due diligence and reach out so you can figure out like what is the difference and how you are going to manage those, because it can be the same, but it doesn't have to be. But you need to figure out like what's best for you. So that's what I did on this. That's like the story of, I say, my first chargeback, because it was the same dang on person. Like, I don't even know how this happens, y'all. But I talked to one of my friends. She's actually a wholesale customer of mine. We become friends. I love that for me. I love that the Lord has given me customers that been able to actually become friends with. And she's been a huge help to me in areas of my business that I was just trying to figure out. But anyways, she had previously worked in for, doing her business, and so she had given me a lot of tips and was just telling me like a lot of times like there's a circle of these people that they just that's what they do. And I just can't I could not believe it. Like I could not believe it. But it's what they do, and it's like groups of them, and then they like tell other people, and they like they're very skilled in this. And it's just really sad. It's really sad that people waste their time scamming other people who actually work for things, but whatever. But yeah, y'all, that's the story of my first chargeback. Two chargebacks by the same person. And I will let you know that I know you're not going to believe it, but both of these were ruled in the customer's favor. So I lost all of that. And this could happen to you too. This is why I am making this video so that y'all know and understand the importance of setting up processes for your business, because I know you want everything to be right for your customers. So do I. But at the end of the day, I have a business to run, and so do you. And if your business is not protected, then it's going to be very hard to sustain your business if you're just taking losses because you didn't take the time to protect yourself. So, that's all I'm gonna say for this video. I am gonna make another video, so please subscribe. If you already subscribed, like this video, leave me a comment. But I am gonna make another video and tell y'all about my second chargeback and how that went and what I learned from that and some things I did moving forward